Welcome, everybody. Today, I'm so happy for another session of mantra, meditation, and wisdom talks. We have got Hannah Gill, who is known as AKA Krsnaloka Creations, who will be coming on. Who, honestly, I'm so excited about this because if you've seen her stuff, it is honestly out of this world. And when I mean out of this world, she really does bring it out of this world with all the stuff that she's doing, especially the pictures. And we're going to be talking about that, not just that. And she's on Instagram right now. Thank you. And she's come onto our Facebook here, and I can see. Can you hear me okay, Hannah?
Yes, I can. Hi,
Oh, it's good
everyone.
to and guys, the one thing is that if you've seen her creations, that's why she calls them Krsnaloka creations. They are honestly, for me, the best way I can explain it is when you see your best Walt Disney film, but put it this way, it's like the artwork that is like got that type of Disney aspect, but added devotional. So devotional Disney doodling is the best way, but it's got fine art in there. So this is her. And by the way, oh my God, no pressure. We've got about 300 people on right now who, your stuff is really touching people's hearts. So thank you so much. So how are you today?
I am very well, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak and share a little bit about me.
No,
For,
no,
when
it's
I, yeah, what were we going to say?
no. I was going to say that no, it's the pleasure is and the honor is mine. It's so good just to see what you've been doing with this Krishna Loka Creations. And you right now you are in Houston, Texas, if I'm correct.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Here, with the coronavirus, the temple is still closed. On Sundays, it's open for 2 hours, but still closed. It's
No.
unfortunate, but that's why I started to turn to drawing Krishna if I couldn't see him in person.
Wow. I've been to that temple. It honestly, when I was traveling in 2013, actually I celebrated my birthday there. I think it was in Houston. Yeah, but so it's a beautiful place. And this aspect, like I'm like you're quite young as well for starting into all this stuff. And I was just like taken back by how much dedication, devotion you're putting into your pieces of art. Um, and I wanted to ask you, like, where did it start? Like, before, like, how long have you been, should we say, in this spiritual society for? And for now, how long's that been, just out of curiosity, before we ask you about previous?
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
Wow,
Yeah,
two
I met the
years.
devotees in uh, 2018, right before I graduated high school.
Wow.
And I moved into the ashram 5 days after I graduated.
Wow, that's just. I've been speaking to some Srila Prabhupada disciples, and one thing they used to tell me back in the days, people used to come, meet them, and a few days later they'll move into the ashram. But it doesn't happen these days now. And there you are. That's 5 days later, you moved into the ashram after meeting the devotees. They'll be so happy to hear that. So if we've got any Prabhupada disciples, look, we got somebody doing that right now.
And it
Um,
happens a lot, actually. Um, I've lived in the ashram here in Houston and in Gainesville and Krishna House there, and it does happen actually more frequently than you think.
wow. And so, you know, like coming to Krishna consciousness, this spiritual thing, how did it start? Like, who is Hannah like prior and coming into it? If you don't mind, it'd be lovely to understand because a lot of people see your art, they see that devotion, and sometimes it's so nice to understand who you were, how you came, your journey through to get where you are today.
Okay. So, uh, before Krishna Local Creations and before the devotees helped mold me into the person that I am today, I was a little lost. Um, I grew up in a small town no one was vegetarian. I didn't know one vegetarian. And everybody kind of did the same thing. You know, you go to school, you go to college.
Mm.
And I remember just as a young child, like, I was just a little bit different from everybody else. Like, you know, like when I'd blow out my birthday candles, I would wish for world peace. Or whenever hurricanes, I mean, in Houston, we get hurricanes very often. So I would see how, uh, you know, the climate could
Mm.
uh, change and actually destroy everything. And so just seeing all these different, and obviously being in a small town, there was a bit of racism. So
Mm.
seeing all these issues, I just wondered if there was a better way of living, if there was more. And so, yeah, I just started looking into alternative ways of life, and some of those ways were a little misleading. I became like a hippie, and you know, which is it was weird and it was different, especially here because people don't do that. People are
Mm.
they all do the same thing. So I was a little bit of an outcast, but yeah, I started experimenting with different psychedelic drugs. I became a vegetarian.
Wow.
Um, and throughout it all, I realized that I was more than just Hannah Gill, the girl from Houston, Texas. I was a spiritual being. And I remember every time I would come down from these drugs, I would think, how can I maintain that consciousness all the time? And so when I thought that, I was thinking, I want to perfect this human life. So if I want to do it, there must have been people in the past or people now who also want to do that. So I just started to try to find my tribe or people I could learn from who have done the same or are trying to do the same. And so with an open mind, I went and looked into different religions and philosophies. And then I found the devotees, and I was like, it was just checking off everything that I had already felt resonated, but I was also gaining so much more new knowledge that I felt just totally made sense.
Mm.
And I loved it because what I really wanted was a process that was foolproof for everyone. Because oftentimes in different, you know, cultures or faiths, you'll find that they give advice, but it might vary person to person. I just wanted something simple, to the point. How can I access higher consciousness whenever, wherever? No one can take it away from me. And yeah, so when I met the devotees, I was like, this is it. So that's how I
Oh
came to Krishna consciousness.
my God. So Srila Prabhupada talked about making hippies to happies.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it sounds like you into that hippie style of thing going on at the time. And like, because he was talking about individuals that were seeing about drugs and etc. And then they wanted something else that gave them the natural high, and which you have, you know, got into Krishna consciousness. It's, you know, it's amazing to hear. And I think a lot of people, um, when they're younger would, you know, they'll be experimenting, they want to know, who am I? And in doing that, certain things will come out. And it's really nice how open you are, and how that's transformed your journey. Like if you didn't do that, then would you be here today? We don't know, you know.
No.
It's like, no, there we go. So it's like for you, that was how how it came about. So, you know, there's so many paths. There's so many paths. I know you said you came to Krishna consciousness, it clicked with you, but I gather you were some type of spiritual seeker, it sounds like, before coming. So how did that journey, like, because there's people out there that will be like, you know, they might be on the fence when it comes to spirituality or following a certain way. How did you know that, okay, this is the path I wanna take, I wanna get into? How did that come about? What's that mindset for you when you were, you know, taking that plunge, should we say?
Um, I think it was a combination of things. I think that, first of all, the devotees would feed me, and they would hear me. In other places, I found that people would push their own agendas.
Mm.
And I heard a quote from Mother Teresa, and she was saying, "We're not in the business of converting people," but
Mm.
oftentimes when I would go to other places or hear from different people, it felt like that. But with the devotees, they kind of, I mean, they shared, but they also had so much faith in prasadam, which is spiritualized food. They didn't push me. So it was definitely, their kindness and their gentle nature towards my coming.
Mm.
And also, it was just so easy to understand. Oftentimes, I would read different books like Be Here Now,
Oh
which is a
yeah.
nice message of presence, but I just felt like some of what I was reading, I was like, what's going on here? But with Krishna consciousness, when I opened up the Bhagavad Gita and read it, I was like, it was just point after point after point that it was so easy to understand, and it made
Wow.
so much sense. It just gave me a fulfillment, like it gave me the knowledge and happiness from that knowledge that I was looking for in every other path. And I did find bits of that in other paths, but not like this, not like Krishna consciousness. And so it's just such a stark difference. And I also loved it because it allowed me to be able to open my eyes a bit wider and understand what different paths were saying a bit more clearly. So I knew that this was the source. And yeah, there was just no
Wow.
question.
So that's really so nice, and we've got so many comments coming in. Just wow! I just it's from Sume. Then we've got Yamuna Ju, yeah, talented girl. I'm so sorry, everybody, if I'm saying their names wrong. Apologies. So, and they're really loving your answers. It's really nice that you're just so open on this, and this is the thing, this is like a sangha I see, and you'll see a lot of questions. So if you've got questions coming in, please do bring them up, because I think it'd be great to know now coming on. So it's that journey, that transformational journey, and now you started this because you're a fine artist by you've been doing that, you've studied that is your thing. But it's like this digital art side of things. How did that come about? Like, because I some of the tools, sometimes when I watch what you do, it's the first time I've seen this happen. I've, like the technology using how you're doing it. I didn't know that iPads could do that, by the way. And the technicality in it, it's just so like mind blowing. So like, how did that from fine art, which you are, transist into digital art, first of all?
That's a really good question. So when I was living in the ashram at Krishna House, we had free time throughout the day. And so in my free time, I was studying like just things that I liked, like herbalism. I liked like studying medicine and things like that. So uh, I knew I was a doodler and I knew I'd waste paper. So I had bought like this used iPad that I had found that someone was selling across the street. And I saved up my money. It was like $200, but it came with a pencil and an iPad. And I was like, oh, this is great for taking notes. And so I got it. And
$200, sorry, $200 for that. That's the, like, that iPad is like a proper,
oh,
the
no,
proper
the
one.
iPad I have now is
Okay,
I've
okay,
upgraded
okay,
since then.
okay. So $200, you had a pencil and you had the iPad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like as basic as it comes. And it was, yeah. And so in Srimad Bhagavatam class, this is not the best, but I would draw in class, just on like Apple Notes or like the Notes app. I had no Procreate, no drawing apps, nothing. And after class, the devotees would look over my shoulders. They'd be like, wow, this is amazing. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And so I started to do more and more just on the Notes app. And I actually still have one of those original drawings on my page of Srila Prabhupada. It's black and white. It's
Wow.
one of my first ones. And it was just on a simple notes app. And then a devotee saw my work and she was like, "You're so talented. Will you work on a children's book with me?" And so I was like, "Sure." And so I knew I would, as I started to practice and learn digital art more, I downloaded the app Procreate. I realized that my iPad that I had was limited for the amount of detail I could do. And so I was like, well, it's quite fun to do. Maybe I should, I mean, I've always been an artist, and maybe I should just try this out and invest in it. So I took a leap of faith. I upgraded my iPad and I worked on that children's book with that devotee.
Wow.
And in the process, I really loved recording videos of that. And so I was like, let me not harass people on my main personal page. Let me just make a separate page. And that's how Krsnaloka Creations started.
I'm just wondering. So was your iPad the first one like this a bit? Where
Mm-hmm.
it's a yeah. So I can't do doodling on this. Oh, I was like getting excited. I was like, yes, I've got an iPad. Maybe I can do
You
it.
can.
But oh, can I? Oh,
That was the
what?
one I had.
Okay. I'm gonna be
Exactly, that
looking into
white
that.
one. You have to use the first generation Apple Pencil, but you can definitely make some art on there.
Okay, guys. So if you got it, because I'm looking on actually people that are joining. We got Sketchy Sadhna. I think she's got inspired by you as well. We got all spectrums from the different Insta family as well. I can see Beauty and the Wife Life. She does things as well. A lot of people that usually come on. Ishani, thank you. Manjari for life, thank you. Yoga with Sunny, my friend. She's on right now. So you got yoga teachers, you've got spiritual people, you got like subject matter experts when it comes to beauty, etc. You've got artists. We've got them all. This is great. This is excellent. So let's see any questions that come up. Hey, Keshava, yes, this is awesome. I completely agree. And Ishani says she's your fan, by the way. So she's putting out that right now. And also, I just seen Mira Madvika. She said, it's so nice to see the lady behind the brush. Well, it's a pen, really, but I'll let you off on that one. You are really down to earth. Thank you for sharing your journey. So thank
you,
you.
Mira. You're so kind.
Oh, so just going on this now. Let's go into, because some of your pieces, they really, honestly, there's one that really stands out for me, and I remember seeing. I don't know if you have it there. The one with Krishna as a baby and Radha holding him. Not Radha, Yashoda, his mother holding him. Have you got that by any? Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, that's the one. Guys, if you like this, I want to see hearts coming up, and I want to see which platform is really on it today. Is it going to be Insta or is it going to be Facebook? I'm a bit liking the Insta family, so come on, Insta. Nah, come on, everybody. So let's bring it on. Let's see the hearts coming. If this is the one, oh, check it out. Isn't that just, this is what I was talking about. Like, if you look at this art, like this is not just like, there's so much research that's went into this, and I wanna bring that up. Here we go. Please, everybody's loving it. Everyone, look at the hearts coming. Janavi, thank you. Destiny, that's my wallpaper on my phone. Wow. So look at that. Pratiksha, hearts coming out. And Vasu's asking, how are you? We are fine, thank you. Put those hearts on, everybody. Come on, let's do this. Marina, thank you so much. Manjari for life. You see, it's yoga with Sunny's loving it. You've got this type of appeal with your artwork. Okay, somebody's just beaten everybody. Look at that. Thank you so much. I can't say the name. It's on another platform. It's in another language, but I think gold stars to you for that. So let's get into that. Somebody said perfect piece for Kartik. So yes, that's Sketchy Sadhna. I know her. Hari Priya, really nice work you're doing, Hari. Keep it up. So on this, can you just let us know, like, the colors you used and the research that goes into that type of piece? how do you go about that? Because I know this is not just coming out your head. It's you're researching. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes that people just don't see. So how does that happen? It'd be nice to understand that, please.
Well, with this piece in particular, Achyuta Gopi was my right hand woman.
A tutor, yeah, we love a tutor. Yes.
Yes. She calls herself my personal encyclopedia, so I'm always messaging her, are these curls too curly? Or she'll send me things like, oh, this is the color of clothing you show the wearers. Actually, her skin is bluish. And yeah, so she helped me a lot with this piece. And she was like, oh, look, if you see here, we both did a lot of reading together. And if you see, there's like these paisley designs on her sari. That's, you
just
can see like this.
I'm just trying to see. I'm seeing myself. I'm just looking. Oh, yes.
Those designs on her sari. That's actually in the descriptions that her clothes have that kind of pattern. So yeah, we just try to make it. I mean, obviously my style's a little bit more Disney, but we just try to make it as bona fide as we can in the style that I do. So yeah, Achyuta's like my right hand woman. Or there's other pieces like this one of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Wow.
Which I actually got from a piece written in the Krishna art book. And it was talking about how when the sun rises from the east, the golden avatar Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to spread the holy name to all of the fallen conditioned souls. And so, yeah, so I was just thinking, he's merciful, so he'd be like, come join me. And then we had the sun rising from that particular direction. And yeah, so some of these pieces are adapted from writings that I found or that I was inspired by. And then we have pieces that just like come from the heart.
Go
like
on.
This one.
This is Nrsimhadev and Prahlad, right?
And Prahlad Maharaj, yeah. And this was
that's so cute. That just could you? Yeah, just it's like it's got this type of Simba and his father, not as in the lion. It's like the Lion King style.
Yeah.
Of hit. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, totally. This was inspired by Lion King. So like just like Prabhupada said, you can try to Krishnaize things. I noticed that. I mean, I'm trained as a fine artist, right? So like realism is my thing. But I had heard once that if you ever see something lacking in the movement, instead of saying, oh, I wish we had XYZ, why don't you do it? So I noticed that I was like thinking, oh, it'd be so attractive if there was like Disney style Krishna art. And I didn't see anyone doing it. So I was like, well, although I'm trained this way, so many people have done it this way. And I feel like at the spiritual level where I'm at, it would be less intimidating for me to just do, Disney style stuff.
You know what? I think it's actually connects with so many people, and it brings that straight into. If anybody sees that, even if they're not spiritual, they'll at least be raised to the mode of goodness. Because when we think about Disney, when we think about these are, it takes us to a good place anyway. So I think you hit the nail on the head, the way that you do it. And it's also got that appealing factor. Because sometimes when something's in realism and completely real, people sometimes cannot connect with it. But here, there's this softness to it that draws you straight. I'm not any art critique. I don't know much about art, but I do know what I like, and that's why it's really good. And I'll be surprised if you don't get anybody from Disney saying, "Hey, you want to do? We're thinking of a new cartoon, by the way. Realism style. What do you think? Can you make some characters for us? So it might be. Never know what happens. but I want to just let everybody know, if you're liking what you've just seen, okay, she has been sold out of the prints at the moment, but there will be more coming. And you can even commission your own. So she's, Hannah is ready to commission a specific one that you would like. And so that's also there. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is go directly to her website, which is KrsnalokaCreations.com. And details of that, of course, we can also post later. But for now, it's www.Krishna, as in KRSNALOKA, and then creations, which is CREATIONS.com. And also she's on Instagram, she's on Facebook at Krsnaloka.creation. So just join her, see all the stuff, see the live videos. It's something that's really has been hitting a lot. So but one thing, how did you decide? Like, Krishna, somebody's asking about the bluish color of Krishna. I'm seeing some questions coming. How did you decide, okay, that's the right tone of blue? The one that with him and his mother. Like
Yes.
How did that happen?
Yes, this dark
That's
blue.
one. Yes.
I had a lot of people and they were like, yeah, this is very sweet, but usually Krishna is a lighter blue. And, we read that Krishna is the color of a newly formed rain cloud. But then there's other descriptions that describe him as a dark jewel. And so I remember one day I was on the FaceTime with Achyuta Gopi and I was driving and I was like, oh my gosh, Achyuta, the sky is filling with thunderclouds. It looks so beautiful. She's like, oh, let me see. So I flipped the camera and I showed her and she was like, do you see that dark, dark cloud there? The darkest cloud, that's the color of Krishna. So that day I took a photo of the sky. And when I went to color this sketch that I had done, I just color picked that darkest cloud color. And that's the color that we made Krishna.
Wow.
So we really pulled it from his creation and then turned it into
his creation. Yeah.
creations. Yeah.
And you also got it checked and approved by one of our, I class as one of our scholars in, she's always on Achyuta Gopi. She knows what she's talking about. Yeah. And it's so nice how you do that. So it's like you check the sky. Like sometimes you have free check methods when it comes to anything that you do. Guru Sadhu Shastra. You're looking in Shastra, you speak to the sadhus, and sometimes it's somebody that you look up to as a guru, you ask them as well. And you're doing that as you're making, so that even bonifies your pieces even further. So just so you're aware. Hey, we had a request coming, by the way. We're like, can you both do a live collaboration when Jagannath does a kirtan session? It'll be so nice. Maybe.
Love to do that. I always draw with live music, and I actually did one of these with the Achyuta where she read and I was drawing while she read. That's
maybe we can try that if everybody would like that. Maybe we could do. I haven't done a kirtan for ages. I just realized. Yeah, it'd be so nice. Okay, guys, we will try and do that. So thank you for that suggestion. Shakshi says it's so accurate. So okay, so as you're doing these pieces, what realizations are coming to you? Like, how, they say you take yourself to a certain place, but like, can you just describe to us that when you are drawing this and you're looking at research, what's happening? Is this your type of meditation that you have? How does it feel?
Well, I've noticed it's different with each and every piece. So in this particular piece, this is one of the first real pieces that I made for Krsnaloka Creations. When I was making this piece, I had decided to leave the ashram, and I had felt like I was a failure because of that. And I just became extremely discouraged, and I stopped chanting, and really the only thing I was doing then was taking care of Tulsi Maharani and offering my food. But even then, sometimes I would just forget, and I just felt really down in the dumps about my place in the movement and in my own spiritual life. And so when I made that particular piece, I felt like I did it this way because I resonated with Prahlad Maharaj. It was actually Nrsingadev's appearance day, and I wasn't living in a temple. I had no association around me. All I had was my iPad, and I thought maybe I could just do a little drawing and offer it, because I don't have anything else I could offer. And I started it, and I did not know that it would become so detailed, but I really just poured what I felt was every last bit of what I had to offer into that. And Achyuta Gopi was saying the other day that whenever we offer anything to Krishna, we're only winners. We never lose anything. And she referenced Srila Prabhupada saying that. And so in making this piece, I gained so much more. I gained friends, like virtual association. And I had so many different realizations making this piece, because as I was doing it, there was times where my energy would be depleted, and I would be like, oh, I don't know if I can finish this. And then I'd be like, wait, I've learned from my training in the ashram that prasadam can boost one's, spiritual stamina. And so I would offer my food with expecting the mercy of Krishna, and then I would receive it. And so I realized the power of prasadam working on pieces. I realized the power of prayer working on pieces. And slowly but surely, this art service, which you would think you would have to have, such a strict regimen to be able to bring forth beautiful creations, Krishna's so kind that he'll give anyone service, any type of service, if we just actually want to offer something. And so different pieces have had different realizations. So that was a piece that came from, I don't have anything to offer you, but please accept this, and it became so beautiful. And then this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu piece here, this was, very ecstatic to make. And I cried often working on this piece, just thinking of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the sweetness. Like, I have this saved on my iPad, and when I remove the background and just like look into his eyes, I really do feel this mercy, this sweetness.
There's tears of ecstasy coming down his cheeks, I think, as well. You brought on there. Is that right?
Yes.
Can you see little tears?
Yes, they're dripping off of his cheeks. He came just to give us this holy name. Can you imagine Radha and Krishna combined to give us the holy name? It must be something special if they both came. So that was a very ecstatic piece to make. So each one brings different realizations. My most recent piece was for my friend who's a devotee. Her name's Ariana, and she's making a Hare Krishna alternative music album. And that piece was also very sweet because she's a devotee, so I got to glorify her and add flowers in her hair, and I recognized the sweetness of serving Krishna's friends. So each piece brings out different realizations. It's hard to pin them down.
This is the part, like when we talk about spiritual life and we talk about connecting, this is the beauty. There's different ways of connecting. Like, you found through your art to connect to Krishna, where some people will find it through music, some people will find it through maybe pain, some will find it through there's different avenues to connect. It's not like one size fits all. And this is what it's been even proven today, everybody that's listening, that we as individuals, we are all individuals in our ways, and even our relationship with the divine is also individual. So take it for today. One thing is, we've got some things that are in connection, like, for example, meditation, doing japa, following certain regulations if we can. But then on top of that, to try and make that connection more personalized, we offer or render our services in different ways. And that's what's beautiful, what I find personally very beautiful in Krishna consciousness, that it's everybody is offering their own thing to the divine. And it's obviously people are not just people, but you can see through the people that Krishna is pleased, because you can see with the amount of connections you're getting, people feeling the mood of the art you're doing and what it's also generating in their lives. So, thank you for doing this. And it's nice at such a young age, 20 now, you've taken at this type of level and taking it further. So we got to have more. So I want to ask the question, what next? What's happening? So people are going to wanting to have these prints. Some might want to be commissioning. So that's one thing. But what else are you thinking about going forward? What's the plans? Any plans?
Yes. So I'm currently working on an art course.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I'm
You
going
heard
to
it
be
here first, everyone. You heard it
Yes.
here first. That's it. I have to do that.
Yes, I'm going to be teaming up with some of the most amazing artists in our, spiritual history and culture, to bring to you a course on just digital art, mainly how I take my black and white pieces and really bring them to life in Disney style, but it's going to be infused with bhakti. So we're going to have, artists who got instructions from Prabhupada, um, encouraging us and inspiring us. Yeah, but then also just like a fun new way of creating art uh, for Krishna. As time goes on, technology advances, and it's nice if we can advance with it, but offer it to Krishna. So that's just my humble attempt. So we're working on an art course. Prints will be restocked next week, so you can, if you'd like some of my artwork, you can get some and hang it in your home. It's so fun and colorful, and they look so beautiful framed, you know. And I really do try to get it on nice quality paper, so you don't even have to frame it, but it's nice too. And yes, I do offer commissioned pieces. So if there's a particular pastime or scene that you really like to see in my style and I have yet to do it and you want it, you can get it from me by messaging
Right.
me on Instagram or emailing me. All that information's on my website and my
Yep.
pages.
It's been pinned on there now on our Insta family group, and it's scrolling on our Facebook group right now. So KrsnalokaCreations.com. Please check it out. So, I saw one. There's a beautiful poem that was done by a Chuti Gopi, and then suddenly I saw this nice painting done of her, and I was like, this could be Krsnaloka Creations. I gather that was you, right?
Yes.
How did that come about? Just like, what was how did that happen?
Yes, so I had seen one devotee, in the middle of all the turmoil going on. I live in America, so in the middle of all the turmoil going on in the United States with the murder of George Floyd, this poem had resurfaced on my Facebook feed, and I read it and I cried like anything because, seeing the sufferings of, you know, other living entities and my friends, it really disturbed me. And so when I read this, I was like, wow, what genius connected the dots like this to Krishna's beautiful color of her skin and make it glorious in the midst of a time where everyone was hating it. And
Hmm.
so then I found Achuta's page and I followed her, and I was so happy to see this, and I just kept going back and back, and she was reposting people reading it so beautifully and feeling comforted by her work, and I loved seeing it. But then, you know, the way the world works, I guess, some people started to think negatively of this poem that she had written, and honestly started attacking her and bullying her. And I remember thinking, this is just awful. And immediately in my mind, when I thought that it was awful, I had seen this image in my mind of these mirrors. And in the mirrors, rather than seeing the reflection of her body, seeing all of the different things she compared her body to, the color of her body to Krishna's paraphernalia or his, holy dham. And Bhakti Tirtha Swami said that compassion isn't just to feel for, the hardships of others, but to do something about it. And so I stopped all my projects that I was working on, and in my mind, it was one of the first times that something in my mind translated directly onto my paper or screen. And that's how I made that piece. And I felt like I was supporting her and that I was encouraging her and making her feel like the role model that I felt she was to me. And honestly, I felt so happy to serve her in that way. So that's how the color piece came about.
That, yeah, this again, this is what I really like when it comes to spiritual movement, that when you get that connection, you feel the other person's pain. It's like, and at the same time, it's like, what can I do? You didn't have to just stop your all this stuff, this compassionate nature of coming out and said, what can I do? And you put pen to paper and you did that, and it meant so much to her, because I know when I connected, I connect with her as well and we speak, and she was really touched by that, that the way you did that. And also I think this is where us as a group need to also, that consciousness tribe that we are here, let's try and make that force for change. Let's make that type of force for good. Let's support each other, especially in these times when the coronavirus is there. One thing I would say to everyone on this who's listening, think of one person that you may have not reached out to or, seen, and just maybe just give them a call, do something. We're not all as talented as our Hannah here, but that doesn't mean you can't still connect and do something. Maybe what you can do is just make a connection, call, see how people are doing. So take that as something. She didn't have to do that. She just felt it. And then I think what made it feel in this case was Krishna himself, because that's our connection. That's how we're all connected. So really nice. Thank you so much for sharing that. I've had a question come about, you talked about the course. So one person asked, would this course be available if someone is an amateur, wants to draw, but doesn't really know how to?
This particular course that I was planning to do, to explain how to draw versus how to take your drawings and turn them into works of art, to compile them all in one course would probably be a bit too much. So maybe I'll separate them, one for people who know how to draw and one to really make it come to life, versus we can do like a beginner's course. So probably two separate courses.
Thank you so much. There you go. So thank you. See, it's good that you're here and you're connecting, and we're already molding the courses that will be coming out. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be great. So,
thank you.
We're coming closer to the end soon, and I just want to ask, is there any meditations or anything you would like to take away? And Hannah was asking me to do a kirtan at the end, so today I'll do a little kirtan.
Well, we did have one question earlier.
Go on.
From Naradi. And she asked, do you feel bhakti art is different from creating art in general?
Yes. So how does that feel to you?
It's very different. Like I said, I was trained classically. But after a while, for me at least, I felt like my art became all about technicality. Okay, you put the shadows here, you blend like this. But with bhakti art, you are in close proximity with Krishna. especially if you pray, Krishna, I don't know how you want to be manifest, but please use me. This is all I have to give you. This is what I want to give you. I have a little bit of this talent. Please let me utilize it. When you're in such close proximity, you're dressing the deity. You are creating. You're like a pujari, or you're like a person who creates deities. uh, you're deciding, oh, where am I going to place this flower? Oh, where am I going to, ooh, Krishna's feet must be very soft. I'm going to draw the lines in such a way that they would be very, plush. It's such a different experience. To me, I stopped painting and drawing for a very long time just because I didn't feel passionate about what I was making. But when I started doing bhakti art, not only was I passionate because I knew that it would be lovely for other people to see, but also I loved the experience. It was just so different. It wasn't like the gratification you get when painting, when, okay, ooh, yes, I'm almost done. It's like you love every line, every pearl you add in the hair. It's just such a sweet service. So it's
Wow.
very different in
It's
my
different.
experience.
There you go. Because you got the devotion added to it. By the way, is there somebody called UVB? That's my big sister. Somebody's calling you.
I have so many friends who I've made from this Instagram page. It's so wonderful.
Oh, no. And guys, like I said before, before we go into some meditation and kirtans, if you want to connect, please do. You connect to Hannah here, Krsnaloka.creations. It's an Insta handle, it's a Facebook handle. And also, if you like, you can connect with myself as well. Let's become friends. And it's Jagannatha_Dasa. So that's where you can get. And so let's make that conscious tribe. And I want to just pass over to you as we finish, as I get the guitar ready. I'd love to hear some meditations that you've been thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah, so I really love how Radhanath Swami is able to take his findings from other teachings and relate it to Krishna consciousness. So I have this book here, and it's called Jesus Calling.
Oh.
But I read something in it that was so beautiful, and to me it's no different from Krishna consciousness. And so I just wanted to share it here. It's very short,
Please.
very sweet, but it's nice because it's also like dated, so you can read a new one each day and then like write your reflections on the side.
That's wicked.
Yeah. And so this is one that I personally I like very much. Worship me in the beauty of holiness. All true beauty reflects some of who I am. I am working my ways in you, the divine artist creating loveliness within your being. My main work is to clear out debris and clutter, making room for my spirit to take full possession. Collaborate with me in this effort by being willing to let go of anything I choose to take away. I know what you need, and I have promised to provide all of that abundantly. Your sense of security must not rest in your possessions or in things going your way. I am training you to depend on me alone, finding fulfillment in my presence. This entails being satisfied with much or with little, accepting either as my will for the moment. Instead of grasping and controlling, you are learning to release and receive. Cultivate this receptive stance by trusting me in every situation. And then there's just one more I'd like to read.
Please.
You can live as close to me as you choose. I set up no barriers between us. Neither do I tear down barriers that you erect. People tend to think their circumstances determine their quality of their lives. So they pour their energy into trying to control those situations. They feel happy when things are going well and sad or frustrated when things don't turn out as they'd hoped. They rarely question this correlation between their circumstances and feelings. Yet it is possible to be content in any and every situation. Put more energy into trusting me and enjoying my presence. Don't let your well-being depend on your circumstances. Instead, connect your joy to my precious promises. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go. I will meet all your needs according to my glorious riches. Nothing in creation will be able to separate you from my love.
Wow. See, this is the personal aspect. Thank you so much for sharing. You know, today it's been so nice to get to know Hannah more. And you really, it's, you know, and I've Sakshi's put it really nicely. This is so impactful. And a beautiful prayer I'm seeing from there's Shakti Prakash as well. They're all loving it. So thank you to coming and sharing your story, how your paintings, how you started it, your journey. Which, guys, support it. If you can support, please do. Let's any type of, you know, if you can promote her work, take it to different places, because she's doing something that's coming from a good place. And it's always nice. Sometimes we promote so many things out there, which really doesn't really do much to the world. But here, this will help the world. So that's my request to everybody. And I thought maybe we'll do a little kirtan, very short kirtan. So with everyone's blessings, we'll do one. And then, of course, we'll be finishing. Hannah, I need to know if you can hear it right.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you everybody for joining today, and thank you Hannah. It's been a long time since I've done a kirtan, so thank you for requesting. I did one, so
It is so
really
beautiful.
appreciate.
Thank you.
No. So everybody, I want to say, please see you soon. On Thursday. Guess who I'm talking to, Hannah? By the way, on Thursday. Guess who it is? I wonder. Let me think. Everyone's gonna be like, "Duh!" But go. Who is it?
Achyuta?
You got it. Power prayer. We're doing that. So please, and I just want to say thank you, Ulvida. Vada, yes. Sonam, you're on. Well done. Thank you. G, here's Mira. Thank you. Keshav, thank you. Destiny, Riley. We need to catch up, Destiny, soon. So let us know how you're getting on. And thank you for joining. And also, everybody here, Shakshi, it's so nice that you're on. Nanda, we've had so many comments come through today. It's been lovely to be connected with all of you. And it's what keeps us going. So your support and that. So remember, before we go, connect. Go to KrsnalokaCreations.com or go to Krsnaloka.creations on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to connect with myself, then please do Jagannath_Dasa. So those are our places. And on that basis, I want to say Hare Krishna and thank you so much. And thank you, Hannah. And we're going to be doing a session soon where she'll be doing some lovely devotional doodling where I'll be doing some kirtan. So
I am so
meditation
excited.
through music and art.
And art and music. So much fun. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm so humbled and you're such a nice host. You made me feel so comfortable. Thank you so much for this awesome service you're putting up other people. It's really inspiring. And that's what Krishna loves. He loves when we are uplifting to his friends. So thank you so much for being so kind to me.
No. Keep it up and let's do this. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.